Hi there guys and girls, and welcome back to the Mortal Kombat Conquest reviews. Okay, I know it's been a big gap with E3 and everything, sort of pushing these back, but yeah, now I'll be resuming these reviews as often as I can, hopefully one a week, depending on what's going on with Mortal Kombat. If I think there's another video that's more or better to do, I'll delay the Conquest ones because, you know, I want to prioritise the Mortal Kombat game before the Conquest review. So, depending on how things go, yeah, maybe one a week, 1 every 2 weeks. Yeah, so don't worry, there's only 22 episodes and I've already done 8 and this is the 9th one. So, you know, I'm already pretty much halfway done. So, now, this episode, episode 9, Quan, is fantastic. The story, the characters, the way it's written, and the fight scenes are really, really well done. The fighting has really become comfortable now with the series, and looks a lot better, a lot less cheap. Believe me, if you go back and watch fights like from the first episode, then watch them from like this episode, you'll see what I mean. They're fighting with like chairs and stuff in this now. There's more flips involved. There's more people fighting at once. You know, so it's really good in that instance. The story is really well written, and like obviously with Conquest, you know, they couldn't bring in all the characters, so I like what they did with Quan. He always has sort of 3 assassins with him, 3 hot female assassins, and in the game, in Mortal Kombat Mythologies, that was Kia, Jakarta, and Serena. And so in this, you know, maybe they went around, so they put in Cian, Sora, and Mika. Mika's played by Jamie Presley. She's pretty popular now. You would have seen her in My Name is Earl and that. And a little interesting fact that you guys might not know, the girl that plays Cian, she's like in anything Mortal Kombat. They always pick her, and she's played by an actress called Dana He, who does all the female stunt work and fights in the movies, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the TV show. I think she even did stuff on the live show. So she's like the go-to female stunt woman whenever they do something with Mortal Kombat, you know. I believe she has like a gold medal. She won a gold medal, sorry, in Taekwondo in the Olympics or something. So, yeah, and it comes through, you can really see she can fight. You know, I was talking about in my Annihilation review, yeah, you see Talisa Soto and Musetta Vanda, you see them try and fight and it's horrible to watch, you know, and nothing against them. You can't just train someone for 3 weeks on, this is what we're going to do in this fight scene, and then expect them to do it and expect it to look good. You know, when someone's fought all their life, you know, it really comes through. All the moves are smooth, you know, just, you can really see it, even though, you know, yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm going to talk about the episode now. It starts off with Zero, Tarja, and Kung Lao at the tavern having a nice dinner, and Zero's getting all chummy with the bar, with the waitress. He's pigged out, you know, and Kung Lao decides to go home. He bumps into this woman who says, help me, they're killing this girl, can you help me? And obviously he runs to her aid, and it's Mika and Cian, and they're pushing this local girl around, you know. And the thing I was talking about with this show is always the collateral damage, you know. If you live in Juzin, or if you know Kung Lao, Tarja, or Zero, you're pretty much fucked, you know. So, yeah, so they're just picking on this girl, you know. And then, you know, Kung Lao's like, leave her alone, you know. And then Mika's like, oh, he must be tough if he wants to fight the both of us, you know. And then Sora's like, well, let's make it 3, which was the woman who said, come and help, you know. Turns out she obviously is part of the gang and just kills the girl, you know. And they just kill her, and then the fight starts. And it's Kung Lao versus the three girls, which is really cool. In this episode, there's about 3 fights, and they're all very, very good fights. I'd like to put them all in the video, but obviously I don't want it too long. So I'd like to put this one in, but I'm not going to, because I want to show you guys the Quan fight at the end. I believe is one of the better ones. Yeah, so I'm saving that one for the end. So yeah, Kung Lao fights him. It's a very good fight scene. It's in an alley, you know. he actually loses the fight, and Xian, who's the assassin of the three, who enjoys killing the most, is about to kill Kung Lao, and Taja comes in and saves him, or Taja and Zero. And yeah, they said they heard the fight, and they run away back to Netherrealm. And then you get the intro plays, and then you come back for after the intro. My favourite scene, the first line, the first words out of Quan Chi's mouth, with the first thing he says is just great. Miserable sluts. I should have brought others, ones who won't fail. It's just really cool, really cool.
Miserable sluts. I should have brought others, ones who won't fail. Lift your heads. I want to see you clearly to remind me of what failure looks like. Look at me! Tell me, Xian, Sora, still so silent in my presence.
They serve you as I do, Quan Chi.
Like 3 rats from a stinking sewer! Since you wish to talk, Mika, tell me, what went wrong?
The guy who played Quan Chi, he's actually been in 24. It was like one of the terrorists or something in one of the seasons. But he did a great episode with this character. I love the way what he did with his voice. And with the makeup and everything, he was Quan Chi, man. He looked awesome as Quan Chi. And nothing against Richard DeVizio or anything who played him in the games. They're both excellent Quan Chis. It'd be really hard if someone said pick. It'd be really hard. I remember Richard DeVizio was a bit, I'm not angry. I guess he wished he'd been picked for the show. You know, nothing against Andy Monopolis, I think it is, who played Quan Chi, but you know, because he'd already been Quan Chi, he's sort of, that role belongs to him, you know. But I gotta say, Andy Monopolis did a great job. Yeah, so Quan Chi says what happened. They explain, and then he says, "Where's the bottle?" And then they said it was broken in the fight, you know. And yeah, so he obviously has some plan going on here, some potion. And then he says, the girl or the woman asks for another chance, which he gives them. And he says, "Oh, can we kill the others too?" And he says, "Yes, I'll give them the same thing I'm going to give Kung Lao." And he talks about this potion masking good and allowing evil to emerge. So any person who's balanced, you know, has a good and a bad side, and you keep it in check, sort of yin yang sort of thing. That this potion allows the good side to sort of go away and just allows the bad side to come out, which is really, really cool sorcery.
Others will have their own horrors to deal with, but Kung Lao's, that will be the deepest. The dust of the Netherrealm, from the evil of countless souls, impenetrable as night. It'll mask all goodness, all nobility, all honor. Once in, only the worst in them can thrive. Let's see what they're made of. Blood to blood. Darkness to darkness.
Yeah, so then in the next scene, the 3 women have been sent back to Earthrealm, but now they're dressed normal. So obviously in the first scene they were, you know, they had their masks on and their outfits and that, and now they're just in normal like civilian attire, so they don't get identified by them. And Taja goes to her local flower girl who you see at the start, and she's already killed her and taken her place and said, "Oh, that's my sister, she's sick," or whatever, you know. And then Taja buys roses, and then she infects her by pricking her on one of the roses. Zero goes and gets a shave, and yeah, the woman. Can you believe this? Give me a second. People call me while I'm doing YouTube videos. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, so Siro's getting a shave, and Sora, one of the 3 assassins, infects him by cutting him with the shaver. And then Kung Lao's gone off to the monks. One of the monks is going to be made a master or something. And this girl's in the forest, help me, can you help me? You know, and it's Mika. She's pretending that she was tied up and left to die. I really like what Kung Lao says. But she had this leather around her throat that they made wet. And Kung Lao said when the sun would have dried it up, would have cut through her neck. That sounds awesome, man. Can you imagine seeing that? Yeah, and obviously she infects him by scratching him with her fingernails. And then, yeah, they all report back to Quan Chi and say they're all infected, you know, and he's very happy. And then you see Quan Chi's real dark side, the power he has over these 3 women. You know, these 3 women aren't alive, they're dead. And his powers have allowed them to come back to life and sort of live as humans, but they're not really alive. They don't eat. Even she, just before she scratches him, she throws away the food. She's like, what do I need with this? Because she's not mortal, she doesn't eat anymore. So, yeah, whatever Quan Chi gives them, it allows them to look normal, but without it, you see her face still, you know. And, yeah, so that's the hold he has over the whores. Also, you know, he does whatever he wants to them, which includes free sex. So he takes Mika out the back for a quickie. When things goes his way, he's in a real good mood.
Come with me.
Then we go back to the 3 heroes, and they're fighting already, and Kung Lao comes back, and you see Kung Lao come back into town, and this little kid's like, hey Kung Lao, can we play ball or some shit? And he's like, no, you know. And then he gets to the training post, and Taj and Siro are fighting. Siro's saying, where's my coin purse, blah 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 blah. You know, I don't have it. Why would I have it? Blah blah blah. And he's like, what's going on? Kung Lao's like, what's going on here? You know. And Siro's like, she took my coin purse. You know, bloody thief or whatever. And she's like, I didn't take it. You know. And then he tries to grab her, and falls out. You know. He's like, didn't take it, huh? And then Kung Lao's like, you both make me sick. You know, so they're just losing it totally. They're falling apart, you know. And, yeah, and you get, basically... Oh, my notes are a bit screwed up here, sorry. Yeah, they're fighting. You see Siro as a drunk, you know, he's just drinking all the time. You see Taja, she says time for more shopping, which she means stealing. She just goes back to her old ways as being a thief. And Kung Lao's just angry, he's just looking for a fight, looking to kill someone, you know. And then Kung Lao goes somewhere, comes back, and Siro's in there just drinking, you know. And he's got Jen's scarf in one hand, and Kung Lao's like, where'd you get this? And he's like, I don't know, upstairs. He's like, this is Jen's stuff. I told you to never go in her room, you know. And he's like, what's your problem, Kung Lao, you know? The funniest thing, that he's like drunk, and then they have this fight. And they're like fighting perfectly, you know. That's the only thing that's funny about this episode. Yeah, so they get into a fight, you know. Kung Lao tells them off real good.
How about some more? You're a used-up freeloading bodyguard who couldn't even do that right when you had the job. You let Jen die!
And they have a fight, and just before the end of the fight, Siro realizes what's going on. He's like, what are we doing? Why are we fighting each other? And Kung Lao, because Quan Chi explained that his infection is going to be the deepest and most powerful, because he's such a good person, you know, because he's got so much good in him that the bad's going to be just as worse, you know. he just finishes off of Zero and just like, you know, roundhouse kicks him off a balcony and he falls down. And then Raiden appears finally. You know, he's probably wondering what the hell's going on. And he's like, you know, what's going on? Talks to Kung Lao, and Kung Lao's just yelling at him, saying, I have no friends, you know, he's going off, you know. And then he runs away, and then Raiden talks to Zero and says, what's going on? Kung Lao, angry, you know, where's Charger? Stealing. Raiden's like, what? You know, what's going on, you know? So then Raiden finds Tarja, and she's about to be hung by all the local townspeople. They've figured out that she was the one stealing all their crap, you know, and Raiden stays at a safe distance and uses his powers to shoot lightning down, and they all run away. I think you even hear one of the crowds people say, it's Raiden! I'm not sure though, because, you know, back then they believed in these gods, but there was never any real proof, you know. It's sort of rumor and mythology. And yeah, so Raiden saves Tarja and locks her up back at the trading post so she can't steal anymore. And then Raiden tracks down one of the 3 assassins that was at the hanging, which was Sora, and apparently knows her somehow. And gets information out of her, what's going on, Quan Chi's plan, you know. And yeah, then basically, yeah, he figures out that it's what Kung Lao's, what's Quan Chi's after. You know, he's after something. He's after Kung Lao. He wants his dishonor. Wants to dishonor him. You know, so he can have his soul in Netherrealm. So when you're dishonored, your soul goes to Netherrealm. When you're not dishonored, you go to a place of greatness. I don't know where. Yeah. So then they go back to Zero, who's dying. And Tasha's like, save him, do something, use your powers. And he's like, I'm afraid it'll kill him or something, you know. So then Raiden zaps, which is pretty cool. He zaps Tarja, Zero, and himself to the temple, which is where Kung Lao is. This is the only time that Tarja or Zero get to interact with Raiden's power, pretty much. Yeah, they come in and Kung Lao's about to behead a monk, you know, and Raiden stops him, you know, and then Raiden tells the monks to help Zero get better, and Taj he starts talking to Kung Lao. She starts talking, saying what Raiden told her. It's sorcery. It's this guy called Quan Chi, you know, blah blah blah, and then Raiden says, no, you know, the sorcerer only poisoned you. You guys walked through and chose that path of darkness. So you have to, you know, you have to control yourself. You have to control your dark side. It's the only way to beat the infection.
That's it, of course. Your dishonor, that's what he's after.
Quan Chi?
Yes. If you die in noble combat fighting evil, your soul will reside in a place of greatness. But dishonored, killing the innocent, for that you will be sent to Netherrealm, where Quan Chi holds power. Pretty crafty, you bald bastard. He wants your soul.
And then, yeah, so Raiden explains what's going on, you know. He explains why Zero is being a drunk and why Tarja's stealing and why Kung Lao's killing, you know. And then he explains that Quan Chi's going to show up for you, you know. He's going to come for you, you know. Once he hears what happened here, that he attacked the temple, you know. Yeah, then basically Quan Chi and the sluts, they all show up, you know. And then Quan Chi says, doesn't matter, he's dishonored, he's mine, blah, blah, blah. And then Quan Chi says, kill him, you know. And then Raiden stops him like that. And then Quan Chi's like, I love it, he always does that. He's like, you cannot interfere in mortal battles, you know. And Raiden's obviously like, they're not mortal, and dismisses them. That's it, so they walk away. They know they can't take on Raiden. That's what I laugh. Everyone's scared of Raiden's power. He has a lot of fucking power. You know, I like that. It doesn't matter how bad the people, you know, Sub-Zero, these assassins, they know Raiden, you know, they know he's got the power of lightning. He just vanquished them into nothingness, which is what he actually says to Sora when he's getting the information out of her. I could send you to nothingness, you know. And you see the lightning in his eyes.
He tells me nothing.
And what are his orders?
I can't tell you that. You know what he'll do to me.
He'll send you to Netherrealm. But at least it's somewhere, Sora. I can send you to nothingness.
Yeah, so then basically Quan Chi decides to fight Kung Lao. And this is where we get this awesome fight. And activates his power as his green cells start swirling around him. And then Raiden stops that too and says, a fair fight, sorcerer, and takes his powers away, which is really cool. But Quan Chi's still a great fighter, as you'll see now. Check this fight out. It's, I think, the best fight of the episode.
Raiden. Come to see him die. Kill him! You can't interfere in mortal battles.
They are not mortal. Be gone.
What matters is of yours, Raiden. Whether he dies today, tomorrow, or next year, he is lost.
To Netherrealm.
For a fighter like him, what would Shao Kahn or 100 others pay for the soul for the victor of Mortal Kombat?
Auctioning souls. Unbelievable even for you.
I'm glad you're so impressed.
He's not in Netherrealm yet.
He will be. I'll fight him alone, and I'll kill him.
A fair fight, sorcerer.
So be it. With his rage, it'll be an easy victory. What have you done?
Explained what you've done in time to stop it.
There has been no dishonor.
The monk lives, as does Zero. Remember this day, Quan Chi.
I will never forget. If I can't have his soul, I have no further need to be here.
Damn him! Let him go. You have won much here today.
Yeah, so that was pretty much it. There's one thing I forgot to mention before the fight, that one of my favourite things, you find out Quan Chi's real plan was to not only get his soul into Netherrealm, but he wanted to sell his soul to Shao Kahn, which I think is great. That's an awesome little story point. And he even says, what would Shao Kahn pay for a victor of Mortal Kombat for one of their souls, you know? Pay a lot, you know. Obviously, because if Shao Kahn had Kung Lao on his side, his soul, and he was in control of him, you know, Kung Lao's such a great fighter, you know, he'd probably never lose a Mortal Kombat, you know, and that means he could conquer all these other realms, you know, and Shao Kahn could build an army of undefeatable warriors like that, like Shang Tsung, Kung Lao, you know. You know, so it's really some deep imaginings you can think about there. You know, they sort of just say, you know, this is what could happen. You know, and you can imagine it. So that's pretty much this episode. After the fight, Quan Chi realizes that Kung Lao's in full control. He can't beat him, and then he says, "What have you done to Raiden?" You know, and he says, "Explain what you done in time to stop it." You know, and he's like, "There's been no dishonor. The monk lives, as does Zero. Remember this day, Quan Chi. I will never forget." And then he disappears back to NetherRealm, and that's it. And then the episode winds up with them walking back to Zuzin, saying they have to live with this darkness. You know, Kung Lao feels bad for attacking all his friends. You know, he has to live with that. And Taj is worried he's going to come back, and Zero seems to sort of be neutral, and he's just we gotta fight against this sort of infection that'll stay with us forever. You know, so yeah, a great episode. Love what they did with Quan Chi. I love the personality they gave him. The fighting, and it's great, well written. There's none of that really. There's no real bad scenes in it or anything anymore. You know, the whole thing flows really well together. So it's a really good episode. So that's it for Quan Chi. Episode 9. The next one, Unholy Alliance. Quan Chi's back, and he teams up with Shang Tsung. So we'll check that one out next time. Thanks guys for watching.